Hello everyone, welcome back to Obsessive Prepper AZ. I wanted to do a quick little update video showing you some of the things that I did today, talk about some of subscribers, some comments, and then also talk about the garden. So stick with me and we're going to get into it. Welcome back. I hope that my video finds you all safe and healthy, your family and friends are safe and healthy, and that you're not going completely stir crazy with this social distancing. It is difficult for a lot of people, and I hope that you are all getting through this. And you know, as preppers, this is why we prep. And if you're new to the channel, please look at my other videos. I show you how to prep easily, 10 bucks a week, building your preps up. Because even though this situation happened, doesn't mean there's not going to be a fall issue. Doesn't mean there's going to be a total different issue, possibly a hurricane, natural disaster. They happen in our lives every day. And there's more earthquakes out there, crazy earthquakes that are going on in areas that we haven't seen earthquakes. So this is why we prep. And as preppers, we're not just prepping for the doomsday. We're prepping for the loss of job, the loss of income. And this instance right now, what's going on in 2020 is a perfect example of loss of income. Things are shut down. Stores are empty. And if you're a prepper, you know that you're okay. You know that you can feed your family. And so I just wanted to, because I've had a couple comments on subscribers, one that posted a comment that said that this video was 4 years ago, and just trying to, you know, like I tried to get people to prep 4 years ago. So, you know, just because it didn't happen today or tomorrow, but 4 years from now, an event can happen that by your preps can help you and your family. And another prepper that had made a comment that she felt vindicated by what is going on because she was harassed by her family and friends for being a prepper. And some preppers out there are just even afraid to tell anybody that they're a prepper because of the harassment that they get told that they're crazy. And you're not crazy, because as a prepper, it's similar to being a homesteader. You're taking care of your family. You're providing for your family. And so having stuff, lights, kerosene lanterns, batteries, flashlights, solar lights to be able to light your house up if you had a power outage. That's preppers. Having enough medical supplies to take care of your family, your friends. You know, and as preppers, we store food, we do our thing, but I hope that you're doing things that can help your friends and family out. And those very people that were mocking me or kind of laughing at me are coming to me and asking me, do I have hand sanitizer? Do I have any alcohol? Do I have this? And I'm able to give them a bottle. And so maybe, just maybe, from this experience, we can teach those other people that were mocking us or thinking we were crazy, that now that they can become preppers, and maybe you can show them how to prep. Just one of those things where I just try to always say prep, because you don't know. And with this thing going on right now, you do not know that it might not reoccur in the fall, or something even worse possibly happening. And we don't have to live our life in fear, because we are preppers that we know that we're taken care of. And there's other comments about hoarding, that we're hoarders. We're not hoarders. And you as preppers know you're not. And if you're new to the channel and you're watching this video, and you know, there's always going to be that certain amount of person that's going to strike and say whatever they're going to do to get a response. A hoarder is somebody that is stockpiled their house with a coffee pot. They bought a new coffee pot, but they don't throw the old one away. They pile up things. A prepper is not a hoarder. A prepper, it takes them a long time to build their preps. We are not running to the grocery store and wiping the grocery store out in a single blink of an eye. That happened just recently. I mean, our stores got wiped out. A prepper builds the preps up over a slower period of time and eventually gets to the point where they're self-sufficient. And they've done this without wiping the stores. So get past that hoarding. We're not hoarders, and you're not going to be a hoarder if you start prepping. You're going to be self-sufficient. You're going to be able to take care of your family. So I'm going to leave that there. Now going to my snakes here that I started the video with. I went out to 2 stores today, the 99-cent store and Sam's Club. Now 99-cent store, I went out for just this purpose. This time of year, they bring in cheap garden supplies. And these cane poles were 99 cents. Now I know there's not a lot of 99-cent stores across the country, primarily Arizona, California, and maybe a couple other states. But if you've got a 99-cent store, these are great to pound in the ground to grow your zucchini up. And you can't beat the price, 99 cents. And if you follow to the end of the video, after I close it out, I'll take you in and show you my updated part of my garden and what I do with these poles. I actually use these holes and put solar lights in it to light up my garden area and my fence light. And just another neat idea on solar, as preppers, there could always be a power outage. So if you go solar lights, garden lights, the power goes out, you can bring them in and light up your house. So as preppers, you've always got to think and then buy them at the end of the year. When they're closed out, get them at a cheaper price, and then next year you can pull them out for your garden and then possibly in your house again. And you don't have to have a kerosene or a candle that could possibly burn down your house. But as preppers, we know we have kerosene lanterns and we know we have candles, we have the batteries, have plenty of matches, lighters. So as preppers, we make sure we have everything covered, all your bases. So get these at the 99-cent store for your garden. Great deal. So I have been working the heck out of my garden, getting it coming in. And in Arizona, if you live in Arizona, you know the challenges of growing a garden in Arizona. The heat can kill a lot of things off. So I'm constantly rotating things, trying new areas and have new ideas. Not so much that my husband likes sometimes. He's OCD, he likes things perfect. And the section of garden, if you watch to the end of the video, where after I do my closing, I'll take you outside and show you some of my garden. And it's a new area that I started gardening. And it's just a section, a long section, that I had firewood stacked, a ton of firewood. So I ended up moving my firewood to a different area so that I could plant this as a garden. I never had it as a garden. So this is my first year of doing this little strip as a garden. So I'm actually quite happy with it. So I'll take you out at the very end of the video and show you what I've got going out there. Now going back to the stores, why I went out today. I went out because I read an article about Tyson. The head of Tyson comes out and says that there will be a meat food shortage. Now we all know that our supply chain has kind of lacked the last few weeks. It is hard for these companies to get caught up, and especially if these companies get sick, these distribution centers get sick, because they have to shut the whole place down. So Tyson has to shut down a 1,000 employee plant, which is going to disrupt. We also know that Smithfield and other factories have had to shut down. So I knew this was coming because this has been going on for a couple weeks now. But when the head of Tyson comes out and says there's going to be a meat shortage, so I went out to Sam's Club and I purchased a couple packages of hamburger and some country ribs. I also got a butt roast and some chicken thighs over here. I would have bought some chicken breast, but they didn't have it. It was like nil, none to be found. Now, this looks like a lot of food, but it's not so much. It can last my family about 4 weeks. And so that comes into that hoarder. Are you a hoarder or are you a prepper? And I think a hoarder is one of those things where they go in and they buy everything that's there. That is a term of a hoarder. Somebody trying to gain profit from it. I am looking to feed my family for 4 weeks. And why? I'm not going out. I do not go out every day. And if you've all watched my videos, you know my husband, Highwayman Trucker, he suffers, he has diabetes, and he also had a triple bypass in the fall time last year, 1st of November. And so the last thing I want to do is bring anything into him. And so, you know, when people see people with groceries, I've seen people having to defend having a huge family because they have extra groceries in their cart. You've got to be more gentler, kinder, because sometimes there's not just 2 people to a family. There are bigger families. So this is what I've decided to get. I'm going to, with my food saver, put everything in food saver bags. I break everything down. So I've got my hamburger here. I'll break this in quarters and put them in my food saver bags and then put them out in my freezer. So that's one of the reasons why I went out to Sam's Club today. And that's all I purchased other than 2 more packages of strawberries here. I love my fruit. I eat a ton of fruit, and I'm just waiting for my garden to come in. I can't wait for the zucchini and my cucumbers, and that's all I will eat until the fall time, and then I'll start rotating into cabbage and squashes and stuff. I'm a big vegetable eater. I'm looking to do some peach jam in another probably 3 weeks, some peach vanilla jam. I'm getting a recipe from my daughter. She made some jars of peach vanilla jam that was just heavenly, so I'm going to copycat her recipe. And that's what I'm doing with the meat. I'm going to get that broke down, put in the freezer, and I've been working on my garden. Boy, I'm telling you, Arizona has got hot. I mean, we have really gotten hot. And it went from, it was beautiful spring, 70, 80 degrees, and then bang, overnight, it was 90. And then boom, again, overnight, it was 100 degrees. And now we're breaking records. And I had my area set up, I had a TV, I was crocheting, I saw this video, not a video, but an Instagram post of a blanket, and I decided to mimic it. And our daughter, one of our daughters, is going to college next year. And I thought, well, that would be a perfect dorm room blanket. So I started crocheting. This is a puff stitch blanket with all my leftover yarn. So a puff stitch is this guy here. It's, if you know, you're doing a lot of stitching on one of these blankets. But anyways, I'm out on the back patio, I'm crocheting, I'm loving it, and then it got hot. And then when you're carrying this weight on your body trying to crochet, I've kind of put it on hold. Next week, we're supposed to be down like low 90s, and I might go outside and crochet some, but still 90 degrees. I've got some time before she goes to college to finish this, but I'm gonna get it done. Anyways, that's some of the things that I'm doing. So I've got my pork completely bagged and my hamburger here. You saw a time lapse. Something I do on everything is I write what it is and then the date. On my hamburger, I press it down like this because it will stack you in your freezer easier. And then also when you go to thaw it out, because it's not this big huge hunk, it'll definitely thaw out faster, flat like this. So just a little tip for you. And then as you can see, those are the solar lights that I had put inside those cane holes there. And then another thing that I also do is on the poles, plant hooks like this, I just buy the cheap dollar ones. And then I take the base off of it and I put them on here so everything lights up real nice. So I've got some cucumbers planted in the back there, and then those are some beets. I've got some sugar snap peas in the back, and these are my radishes in the front. I've got some Kentucky pole beans growing up. And I put several different varieties of tomato plants back here just for the sole fact that I've not grown anything back here, so I wanted to try a couple different varieties and see what will come up. I've got my basil coming in. I've got just a few little carrots in here, and then a bunch more cucumbers. And this is the area, and people have asked me why to have CDs hanging. The CDs seem to keep the birds away, and so yeah, this is an area that I used to have stacked with firewood. So anyways, this used to be where we stored our firewood, and we always have a cord of firewood on hand. And this has just been the area that I've stored it. And with what's going on in the world, I decided that I was going to move the firewood and make this section a garden. And you know, we already have our regular garden, but with what's going on and the food shortages, I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and get this prepped and primed, and I'm going to maintain this as a garden. And again, like I said, I did some trial and errors of a few things because I've never planted in it before, but it seems like everything is doing well. I'll get back with you. I do a lot of Instagram on the story feeds updating, so if you want to check that out, Obsessive Prepper AZ, I'll do updates, fly in my face, do updates on the garden on Instagram, and I think it turned out great. Sun setting, it's been so hot here, and I hope the garden lasts on this side. I think it will be. I think it's shaded enough. The heat kind of kills everything. I went in last night after working in the garden and took a shower, and I was just like, I'm not ready for the 100 degrees. I'm not ready for 110. I took a shower and I put my hair up in this granny kind of bandana. Check this out. I watched a video on Facebook on how to curl your hair with a bandana, and it actually didn't turn out too bad. So ladies, if you're gardening and you don't want to blow dry your hair in this heat, wrap your hair in a bandana, because it actually worked. This morning I pulled it out, and other than you can see that I'm going to need to see my girlfriend for a hair color, but that's not for a couple weeks still. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe. If you want to be notified for future videos, ring the bell. Have a blessed day. Got some more zucchini, some cucumbers, and then my microgreens are coming in. I've got some romaine, and again, this is just planter space that I have never used before. I put a trellis up here that I just always had as just a planter, and I decided to change this into a garden also.